Hi, this is Isha. You're watching a video with justtutors.com. In today's lesson, we'll be learning about statistics, and in this lesson, we'll cover graphical representation of cumulative frequency distribution. So let's begin our lesson first with some warm-up questions. So you can pause the video here to try these questions, and when you're done, let's check the answers. In the first question, we need to calculate the value of mean for a particular data where the mode is given and the median is given to us. So here, we know the formula that 3 median equals mode plus twice of mean. Keeping the values here, the calculated mean is 9. In the second one, here in the question, we were given that the average weight of 50 students is 65, and if one student is mistakenly taken as 50 instead of 75, we need to calculate the new mean. So here in this question, it's written that instead of 75, the weight was taken as 50. So in this question, first we need to find the total of all the observations. So it is mean times by the number of observations. So here, with the error, the answer was 3250, and when we correct that, we get 3250, take away 50, and then we have added the 75 because this is the actual weight that we were supposed to take. So the answer is 3275. Now the new mean is that if we divide the total of all the observations by the number of observations, so the answer is 65.5. In the next question, we need to write down the formula to calculate the step deviation method, the mean using step deviation method and assumed mean method. So these are the formulae. You can cross-check what you have written. So if you have done really well and all your answers are correct, it's really wonderful, and we are good to start with the cumulative frequency and how we are supposed to make it or represent it on a graph. First, let's learn what is cumulative frequency. We can say that cumulative frequency is basically the running total of all the frequencies given to us in the question. Given here is the data where scores are given, frequencies are given. How we need to calculate cumulative frequency, let's see. So here what we'll do, the first frequency will be written as it is. In order to write the second one, we need to add the first one and the second one. In order to work out for the third one, we need to add all the three, that is 2, 5 and 7 together. So this gives 14, or a simple way to work out cumulative frequency in order is that the first value is the one that you have written here, then add 2 to 5 and then write it here as 7. In the next one, add 7 to the 7 and write it here as cumulative frequency 14. 14 add 3, so it is written as 17. 17 add 6, so it is written as 23. So this is how we work out the cumulative frequencies. Now let's learn how to plot a graph using cumulative frequency. In order to plot the graph for cumulative frequency, we mark the upper limits of the class interval on the x-axis and the corresponding cumulative frequencies on the y-axis, and we can choose the appropriate scale according to the question given. For example, if this is the question given to us where the scale is given, that is 10 to 20, 20 to 30 and so on, and the respective cumulative frequencies are given. If we are plotting a graph, we take the points as 20, that is the upper here we have chosen only the upper scale here, so it's the upper limit, that is 20, 3, 30, 5, 40, 9, 50, 15. We'll soon learn why we have only chosen the upper limits here. So this was just a hint how we used to plot the points, how we choose the points from the data. So on plotting these points, the curve that will be attained, we call it the cumulative frequency curve, or we also call it ogive. We do write it as OGIVE, but we read it as ogive, which here in this particular case, the one that we have written as the points are more than type. So here we learn how it's more than or less than depending upon the data that we have chosen. Let's learn how we actually do that. In order to draw a graph with less than type, what we need to do is we need to work for the upper limits of the class on the x-axis and the less than type frequency on the y-axis. Then we plot the points using the upper limits and the corresponding cumulative frequency, and then we join with the freehand. Similarly, for more than, what we do, we choose the lower limits of the class on x-axis, we mark the more than type cumulative frequency on the y, then we plot the points where we are choosing the lower limits and the corresponding cumulative frequencies, and then we join the curve. You can pause this video and read it out again so that it's more clear to you. Let's try the same with example to make it more clear. So let's look one example how to plot the less than and more than type cumulative frequency curve. Here we were given a class interval here, and here we were given the frequencies. In this question, what we worked out is the cumulative frequency for less than and more than. Let's learn how we need to do it. For less than, we start from the first place, that is 5 is written as 5. Add the 3, so it's 8. Add the 2, it's 10. Add 1, 11. Add 3, 14. Add 4, 18. Add 2, so it's 20. This is how we have worked out the less than cumulative frequency. Now let's see how we are supposed to work for the more than type. For more than, we start our working from the lower end. So the 2 remains the same. Then we add the number which is just above that. So 2 add 4 is 6. Add the 3, it's 9. Add 1, 10. Add 2, 12. Add the 3, 15. Add 5, it's 20. This is how we mark the more than type cumulative frequencies. Now, in order to mark the points for the less than type curve, what we do here is we choose the upper limits, that is 10, 5, 15, 8, 20, 10, 25, 11, 30, 14, 35, 18, 40, 20. These are the points that we will plot on the graph for the less than type ogive. Now for more than type, we need to work for the lower limits, that is 5, 20, 10, 15, 15, 12, 20, 10, and so on till we reach 35, 2. Now let's see how we have plotted the graph here. This is the graph that you can see. So here, this red colored line is representing the less than ogive, and the green one is showing you the more than type ogive. The two lines, when you draw, the two curves that you draw, the point there, they intersect. If you drop a perpendicular from that particular intersecting point to the x-axis, we call it the median. So this is the median for this given data. If you want, you can go back to the previous slides to make yourself more clear with this graph, and if you are done, then you are good to start with the practice question. You can pause the video, try this practice question, and when you are done, make sure that you check your answer with the answer slide provided at the end. Thank you for watching this video. For more, please visit justtutors.com.